Hey guys, welcome to the Max Invest YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing some cool news surrounding Ethereum. As we can see, Ethereum has just broken its all-time high and it's sitting at around $4,600 which is absolutely massive. This coin is doing very well and it's brought it up to a market capitalization of $550 billion. Of course, in this video, I want to talk about some news surrounding it and some long-term fundamentals surrounding its tokenomics. If you enjoyed the video, remember to like and subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, and remember, nothing in this video is financial advice. So let's get into the video. Now, the first thing that I wanted to talk about in the video is that Ethereum is absolutely dominating in fee revenue. As we can see, Ethereum is essentially doing around $80 million worth of fees every single day, which is absolutely massive. If we look at the next closest competitor, it's Uniswap. Uniswap is an application built on Ethereum, and if we look at the next closest layer 1, it's the Binance Smart Chain, which is centralized, owned by the company Binance, and is only doing about $6 million in fees. So Ethereum is absolutely dominating, and we can even see that it's doing about 100 times the fees as Bitcoin is right now, which is very interesting to see, and it shows how much network activity we're actually getting. So, as we can see, since all of the fees are coming in right now, this means a lot of Ethereum is being burned. We may know that EIP 1559 meant that every time a transaction happened, there's a fee paid to the Ethereum network. Now, about 80% of this fee is then burned, as this is the base fee. If we take a look at the burn leaderboards, we can see that in the week of November the 1st, about 100,000 ETH was burned. This set a new record for the total amount of ETH being burned, and it made a new thing happen. This meant that it was the first deflationary week of ETH ever. So this meant that Ethereum was actually net deflationary for the first time in an entire week ever, which is absolutely massive. Now, we only thought that it would become deflationary after the merge happens, which is about next year. This is because when the merge happens, Ethereum transitions to proof of stake. When it transitions to proof of stake, less of it is actually issued, and this will mean that Ethereum is consistently deflationary. However, it's already becoming deflationary because of the massive amount of demand to use the network. Now, in fairness, a lot of this new demand is actually coming from the Shiba Inu mania, and this is because Shiba Inu is on the Ethereum blockchain, and to buy and sell Shiba, you do actually need to use Ethereum in the process. However, despite that, it is great to see so much network activity, so much ETH being burned, and it is a stat that I like to track. Now, the next thing that I wanted to discuss is it does look like Ethereum's becoming very scarce. Essentially, 8.1 million ETH is being staked right now. Now, if you don't know, you can't actually unlock the Ethereum stake until the merge happens. So nobody is allowed to unstake this Ethereum until June. Also, when the merge happens, you can't actually instantly unlock the ETH. There's actually a couple of months of blackout where no one can unstake their ETH, and then there's a withdrawal limit on unstaking. So this makes Ethereum very scarce. The next thing that this points out is 6.5 million ETH has actually been locked in the past 50 months. So this shows heaps of people are using their ETH as collateral in decentralized finance. Heaps of people are locking their ETH up and actually putting it to work, which is great to see. And then as we can see, 0.7 million ETH has been burned in just the past 3 months. So what this essentially means is that ETH is very scarce right now. Also, one last point about the ETH being burnt. Essentially, all of the ETH that's being burned is circulating ETH, as it's ETH being used to pay for transaction fees. So what this is doing is it means that there's less and less ETH on the open market to buy. Now, when there's less supply, of course, what this means is the price should appreciate. And in my opinion, right now we're seeing ETH pump against the rest of the market, and this is simply because of the very low supply of ETH, causing a massive spike in the price right now, which is great to see. Of course, we know the demand is constantly increasing, and I really can see us hitting some high price levels by the end of the year and the beginning of next year. Now, the next thing that I want to discuss is where Ethereum's total supply is going to end up. A lot of people say, well, if Ethereum is deflationary, that means it will eventually hit zero. The supply will go right down to zero. However, this is incorrect and a misconception. So, as I've already outlined, a part of the transaction fee is going to be burned. What this essentially means is that means all of the ETH that is locked up, all the ETH is in staking, that is not going to be burned. Also, this means that there will always be ETH remaining for transactions. As a result of this, what is going to happen is Ethereum is going to find an equilibrium at a certain supply and hang around at that equilibrium for the next couple of centuries and essentially forever. Essentially, Ethereum is going to deflate at about 2% every single year for the next few decades, maybe 3 or 4 decades. After that happens, it's going to hit a supply of about 50 million ETH and find an equilibrium here. It'll just stay around 50 million and stay around there forever. The thing that I love about this is it shows that Ethereum's tokenomics are second to none. It's going to hit an equilibrium and stop there. Also, the current supply is around 110 million, 117 million if I remember correctly. And what this means is that our ETH is going to be over double as valuable in a couple of decades, not accounting for anything else, which is great to see. Of course, these great tokenomics make for a very high price of ETH possible, and I am so excited for the future. The last thing that I wanted to discuss is the Ethereum name service is doing an airdrop. Essentially, they're making a token called ENS, and it's going to be used for governance of the Ethereum name service. Basically, if you don't know what ENS names are, it's essentially domain names for the Ethereum network. If you have a .eth name, you basically have a chance to claim a free airdrop, and they're going to give you free tokens. From my understanding, you'll probably get $1,000 if you have a .eth name and you've had it for a while. However, this fluctuates quite a bit depending on how long you've held the name and how long you've got the name registered for. So if you have a .eth name, make sure to claim this. It's not out just yet, but it will be out in the next few weeks. So check out the ENS Twitter to actually see when this is claimable. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this is because it's one of the fairest distributions I've ever seen. Essentially, whenever a new coin comes to market, most of the coin is bought up by VCs, and these VCs will just take heaps and heaps of the coins, pay a lot of money, and this isn't very good for retail investors. However, ENS has completely no VCs. It's distributed to a community treasury, an airdrop, and the core contributors, which is absolutely fantastic to see. So this is probably one of the fairest token distributions, and I am excited about this. Anyway, this brings us to the end of the video. If you enjoyed the video, remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching the video.